Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm Nessa.
And I'm T.
And together we are the Casual Fangirls. We are back in action for a very, very special pod for you guys today. We know you're out there holiday shopping, making your New Year's resolutions, and reflecting back on the year, right? And while we're all reflecting on 2022, we figured why not run down our favorite and not so favorite moments uh, across all fandoms of 2022. We'll be handing out awards for some fun categories that we got lined up. So grab a hold of your time turners as we stroll down memory lane and journey across the multiverse for the Casual Fangirls Awards, y'all. Our first annual. Before we get into everything, T, I'm going to have you give a spoiler alert.
As always, everyone, we're going to talk about stuff. This show gets a bit tricky because pretty much anything from 2022 is on the table, but especially the shows and movies that we've discussed here on our platform. So this includes Bridgerton, which feels like a year, like more than a year ago.
Ages ago.
Oh my goodness. Dragon, Rings of Power, everything DC and Marvel that's been released this year, and so much more than that. We'll do our best to warn you if we spoil any major plot points, especially when we get to a section at the end. When we talk about characters that are no longer with us after this year, we'll do another spoiler warning then. But just so you know, anything's on the table that came out this year. So if you don't like things being spoiled, get over it, stick around anyway, and listen to the show.
Yes, you must stay. All right. So let's start with our first award. It is going to be favorite pet/magical creature. Now, we all know in fantasy, animals are best friends, spiritual guides, and major parts of the journey, right? So this category is here to celebrate our non-human besties. T, who do you have for this category as your winner?
I don't own any pets myself. I'm allergic to a lot of them. But when I think about the type of pet that I would want, I always think that I would want a pet that has a personality, someone that I can a pet that I could, like we can learn how to communicate with each other because they have ideas of their own and everything like that. And based off of that, I'm going with Vhagar.
Okay. Also, not bad to have a dragon on your side. I love that.
Dragon, not bad to have
the biggest dragon.
Mama Vhagar, who's been around the block and she's seen everything. I just feel like she doesn't have the patience or time for little minuscule things, and I like that in someone that's going to be my right hand when it comes to like supporting me in all my wars and conquests. So I'm going with Vhagar. Who's your pet or magical creature?
My magical creature he's mostly a pet, but magical creature as well is Bait from the Dragon Prince series on Netflix. And he is a glow-toad. For those who don't know, please y'all go check out the Dragon Prince on Netflix, but he is a glow-toad and has little surprising features where he can kind of explode his little glowing light and stuff like that. And even though he's super grumpy, he gets them out of pinches sometimes where it's just oh man, these people got a hold of us, and he'll just be like, poof, and y'all can escape. And I like a pet who's useful. I appreciate that. He's compact and you can carry him around.
Yeah.
And has the little cutest personality and sweets just like me. So I definitely chose Bait. And something just lights in my heart every time the intro comes on and he pops on the screen and he does the Netflix boom. I can mess with you. I can mess with you.
Bait is cute, and like I said, I like that you can see his emotions. He changes colors, mood, and it's just I can see myself arguing with a pet like that, and that's what I want.
Yes, I know how you're feeling. I don't have to guess. I can see exactly what's going on. I love that.
Right. Cool. Love it. Let's move on to our next award, which is our favorite ancient relic or magical artifact. So ancient relics and magical artifacts can be tools to unlock unimaginable power, unleash untold evils, or carry important messages, amongst other things. Nessa, who wins this category for you?
For me, I had to give it to a relic that changed the way that I not only viewed the current show, but the previous show.
Okay.
That delivered an amazing, important message that no one saw coming in the fandom. The cat's paw dagger carrying Aegon the Conqueror's prophecy about ice and fire.
That's a good one.
When that dropped, first of all, it's Valyrian steel, which I love, right? It's a compact weapon, and you can still kill somebody with it, even though it failed. But, we're not going to talk about that.
It got rid of the Night King.
Sorry, yes. It got rid of the Night King. It failed on Bran, but it got rid of the Night King. But the fact that they brought it into House of Dragon and revamped its whole purpose gave so much new meaning to the story as a whole. And the fact that no one knew this was coming. Book readers didn't know. Show watchers didn't know. Nobody saw this coming. I love that they did this. And I was like, y'all did the thing. I like that.
I like it too. I totally agree. It reminds me of when Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them came out, and we learned about Obscurials, and we instantly knew that that's what Ariana was from the original book series. And like you said, no one would have seen that coming because it's not in the book. It wasn't in the movies. Love that. But to that same vein, my magical artifact is actually the Elder Wand, which we got closer to in this year's release of Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Elder Wand kind of speaks for itself. It lets you do a lot of things. Right?
It's got great power. I love it. You might have to fight for your life for it, but
caveat. Like I have the Elder Wand, and no one knows that I have it. So that's the caveat there. So,
and I mean that was the case for Dumbledore for a very long time. So it's obviously possible, right? As long as you're not bragging and boasting about it, it works out. So I love that. All right. Next up, we have one of our horny categories. We have our MCM, our Man Crush Monday, and WCW Woman Crush Wednesday award, right? Y'all remember when people used to do that on the internet? The MCMs and the WCWs? Well, we're bringing it back. So we have an award for that to celebrate our hotties of this year. This year brought a plethora of hotties on our screens. And so, we got to give an award to our faves. T, who did you give awards to for this category?
I'm going to tell you who I picked, and I'm going to guess who you picked.
Okay, go for it.
So for MCM, I chose M'Baku.
Solid choice.
Solid choice.
Thick thighs save lives.
And my honorable mention is actually the person I think you chose as your actual MCM, and that's Arondir from Rings of Power. You can confirm in a second, but let me continue that my WCW Catwoman from loved her. She just oozed
Selena Kyle. Zoe Kravitz herself. Got it. Love that.
Who did you choose?
So you were correct. Arondir is my MCM. And yes, and what's funny is my honorable mention was in Baku.
Was it?
Yes. It was in Baku. And the only reason why I picked, and I want to hear why you picked M'Baku over Arondir. But the reason why I picked Arondir over M'Baku is because something happened to my heart when I first saw this. I believe he's Afro-Latino, but this brown man on my screen as an elf in a series that I absolutely love, the Lord of the Rings series that I absolutely love, my heart fluttered every time I saw this man on screen. And that was the simple reason why I picked him over M'Baku. Why did you pick M'Baku over Arandir?
Because I knew you would pick Arandir.
Okay. So we could get both people in.
I'm a good friend. That's why. No, she likes him, so I don't need him. Let me go. No,
I love that.
M'Baku gives me a very similar reaction when he's on the screen.
Yeah.
I think in addition, and this might come up a little bit later too, M'Baku has like such personality. Like he's funny. And I love me a funny man. He's that gorgeous and he's funny. Like, yes, give me all of that.
And my WCW is Katie from Bridgerton season 2, the older sister. She was just, every time she would come on screen, I'd just be like, dang, she looked pretty. She looked good. And I love seeing her chemistry with Anthony. I liked her side of the chemistry way more than I liked Anthony's side. And I just thought she was great on screen, and I loved seeing her. I loved her outfits. I thought she looked good. So she is my WCW.
I like it. I like it a lot. She's just very, to your point about liking her chemistry more than Anthony, the character Anthony's chemistry. Mm-hmm. He just looked like shocked and afraid the whole season, and she was just like smoldered. She was very
she was very bold, confident, sure of herself.
Even in her confusion, like towards the end of the season, she was still like there's still something that like draws you to her. She was great.
Yes, I love her. What's next, T?
So what's next is our award for the actors and actresses who did that. It's called You Did That, okay? Mm-hmm. This award is for our favorite performance and portrayal of a character. So, Nessa, which actor or actress are you giving this award to?
I am giving it to M'Baku.
Oh.
From his entrance in Wakanda Forever till his whole... First of all, he ate that roll up. He ate it up. He chewed every line, and I loved it. And I love seeing what he did with the character and how the character evolved. And M'Baku is such a character that could have been, especially from the Black Panther film, could have been such a two-dimensional character.
Yeah.
And what they did with his character development in this movie was great. And I just thought Winston Duke did an amazing job bringing him to life. He was funny. He was charismatic. He was compassionate. He was loving. He took on the older brother role. And like, it was just so, because like being in the theater from the moment he came out chewing on that carrot, everyone lit up in the theater. So I have to give it to him. He did the thing for real.
I like it.
Who would you give it to?
I chose one, and I have some honorable mentions because I cheated. So
okay, go for it.
My top one is Paddy Considine as King Viserys from House of the Dragon. I'd be shocked if he's not at least nominated for an award and or wins said award in the next award season. Like he was just so good throughout the entire run of the show, especially towards the end. When he was right. And then my runner-ups are Angela Bassett as Queen Ramonda, like the level of emotion she had to exude in that movie.
Everything from me.
Exactly. And then my last honorable mention is Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Ooh, that's a great one. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. For those who, if you haven't seen the Batman, I highly recommend it. It's 3 hours, but it's not like that bad of a watch. Colin Farrell you forget that that's him. You don't even you're just like, who is this actor on this? He's so good as the Penguin. That was my honorable mention.
I'd like to throw in one more honorable mention in there, which would be Eddie Munster from Stranger Things. That man, my gosh, his like opening monologue about losers and outcasts and how they need to come together and create like a world for themselves and create a team and a support and everything for themselves as they created this Dungeons and Dragons club. Like, he was electrifying on screen. He was amazing to watch. I loved watching him. He was great. That's my honorable mention.
Love it.
The Penguin was good, girl.
It's a good one. Yeah.
I forgot he did that. The Penguin, that was great. All right. On to our next award, which is the New Kid on the Block Award. Best introduction to a new character. So whether it was from a prequel or an existing story, new additions to current IP, or a new story altogether, we've met so many new faces this year across the fandoms. So let's hand out our awards for our new favorite characters in 2022. T, kick it off for me. Who do you have?
Halbrand / Sauron.
Okay.
So I'm giving the New Kid on the Block to Halbrand / Sauron because it's so Sauron is obviously a character that we know of for decades, right? Because of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and getting this backstory to who this person, for lack of better terms, I don't know what Sauron actually is, whatever. To this person in the way that they told the story, I thought his introduction was like fantastic, phenomenal. Like, we don't learn to the very end of the season that this person is actually Sauron, and just the way that you are, by the time they get to the point where you realize that's who it is and you're able to think about all the clues from the season, I just thought the way they introduced him was fantastic. So that's my favorite character that was introduced this year. What about you?
That was a great introduction for sure. Like, the way they brought him in and everything, just making him like, he there's something about him that draws you in where you're like, I need to know more. I don't trust you, but I'm gonna give you a shot. Galadriel got caught up, boy. Galadriel got caught up.
She did.
That was a great pick. My pick for New Kid on the Block, who I just recently mentioned, is Eddie Munson from Stranger Things. So I'm not going to reiterate too much, but it just, if you have not seen it, at least YouTube, like his opening speech, his character introduction, I thought was great. It's someone who was needed in the show, especially for where the kids are now in their lives, entering high school, figure out what cliques they belong in. They used to be this tightly knit pack, and now they're kind of spreading their wings a little bit because of everything that's happened throughout the years. And so seeing him play this older brother role of bringing these outcasts in and together and taking them under their wing was great. And his whole character arc was beautiful to watch. I loved it. I adore him. That's my New Kid on the Block. Honorable mention, Riri Williams.
Like it.
She was great. I loved seeing her on screen and live action, and she's so smart and so awesome. So I loved seeing her.
Love it. I thought about her too, and then I was like, sorry. Okay, so our next award. So sometimes we get into these stories, right? And we can begin to imagine hanging out with some of the characters. So for our Clink Clink Bestie Award, the award that goes to the character that you may want to go to Taco Tuesdays with, brunch on the weekends. Who is the character from all the IP this year, Nessa, that you'd want to hang out with?
So the person that I chose is 1999 Tiffany Quilkin from Paper Girls.
Okay.
So I know you haven't seen the show, but just a quick thing. These young girls travel into the future. Some of them meet their future selves. And so Tiffany, Black young lady, super smart. And the thing is, like, she kind of reminded me, like, not just of myself, but like of my friends, where it's like, I come from a group of friends of brilliantly smart Black women who always had this pressure on them. Yes, ma'am. Dr. T in the house. That's right. Who always had this pressure on them to be overachievers and to go above and beyond. And so, like, she had her life planned out from the time that she was like 12, right? And so she meets her 1999 self, who's like in her 20s, graduated valedictorian, went to MIT. But then there's also these mysteries of like, well, why aren't you still at MIT? Why'd you leave? And what's going on with your relationship with mom? And when they meet, they actually meet at a rave party. And so she's got the box braids going, she's got the fishnet going, and like, but she partied, but she don't party too hard because she wasn't drunk and she wasn't on drugs. So she know how to have a good time without getting too sloppy. And when she's talking to her younger self, she's like, dance more, live more, like have fun, go and date, like, have a good time. And she liked Whitney Houston at the time, along with all the rave stuff. And so she just seemed like a fun, good time. She played video games. I was just like, you seem like a cool hang. It looked like we could do brunch together. It looked like we could have a good time together. She seemed sweet and nice and a fun time. So I pick her.
Yeah, she does sound.
Who was your choice? Clink clink. For your best.
Okay.
Okay.
And my choice is Broccoli because I love my girls. Love my girls that I hang out with, and you obviously we brunch. It's a fun time. We kiki, but like male energy at brunch is something that just can't be like matched to me, especially male energy that like that's fun, that can crack a joke. Like I want to get drunk and be at a brunch spot and be with somebody who's gonna like crack on people as we're people watch. Like I want someone who's gonna do that with me.
Mbaku will definitely do that.
Dance with, if it's like, like, so I like the idea of having Mbaku. I feel like he'd be a good time, hanging out, going out, testing different foods and stuff like that. I'll probably get teased a lot, but I'm willing to take that on.
You just gotta make sure he's not out here calling strangers bald-headed demons.
I mean, if he does, he can fight. So
he can fight.
I can wear what I want.
They probably deserved it. They probably deserved it, honestly.
I can wear what I want because he can fight, so I can wear as low-cut shirts as I want and all that stuff. Like it'll be a great time. So
this is true. I love that. I actually really love that. I think that's a great hang. That is a great hang.
So what do we? Yeah.
Yes. So similar. So okay, we gotta differentiate these categories. So clink clink was. That's your bestie. Y'all hanging out together. Y'all doing brunch. Y'all getting drinks. Y'all kikiing. This next category is ride or die. Okay? This means this is the person that you are calling if you need backup, if you need somebody going on a mission with you, if you need somebody to be that man or woman in the chair, that person in the chair for you, that person. So this is different. This is business. Okay? The previous one was fun. This is business. So, I got to ask you, T, who's your guy in the chair? Who are you trusting to support your antics? Who's got your back?
Okoye.
Ooh.
I went with Okoye. She is highly capable doesn't even do her justice. Like she is way more than highly capable. She can do anything, basically. She's always forward thinking. She knows the people that she's with. I'll take you back to Wakanda Forever, spoiler, when she gave Shuri 5 minutes to like go talk to Riri, and she knew that she was going to take more than 5 minutes. So she was already in the apartment, like waiting. Yeah, she knows. I don't know. She's just super capable. Eyes on the prize, eyes on the mission. She has empathy and love. I feel like we would be really, really, really close friends on top of that. And honestly, with her loyalty, she makes me want to be loyal to her. So if she was ever in a pinch, I know that I would be her ride or die. So.
Oh, I actually really, 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 really. Dang.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. I'm kind of mad I didn't think about that one.
So who would you choose?
That's a good one. Okay. So I chose. I went the different route. I chose Dustin Henderson from Stranger Things.
Okay.
Clearly a lot of Stranger Things references today. Yeah. And I chose him because in a world where there really aren't superheroes, there are some kids who have some super abilities, But time and time again, Dustin proves that he can come up with a plan, that he can figure out what's going on. He built like walkie-talkie communicators out of basically tinfoil and nothing, like that can span across a dimension. Like he knows, like he's super super smart and knows how to figure out what's going on. And he just has such a brave heart. Like I know he would have my back. He's a never leave a person behind kind of person. And so like that's why I would pick him as like my person in the chair. Like I thought he's just, and he's funny and he's so adorable. I'm just like, even if you messed up, I can't be mad at you. Like I know you're gonna fix it in the end and it's gonna be fine. We're gonna be okay. My honorable mention would be Hawkman from Black Adam.
Okay.
The man's got money. He's got access to a lot of things. He's got a jet and a compound in Louisiana. And when he fight, boy, that man is relentless. He does not give up. He will keep going till he can't go anymore. And
I would also go to brunch with him.
And so he's
He got money.
He just do a fancy bunch. So he's my honorable mention.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, Okoye. Yeah. I like Okoye the best.
I know you do. I gotta admit, when it came out your mouth, I said, "Ooh, that's a great one."
Okoye is great. So moving on to something a little bit lighter. So our next award is the It's Getting Hot in Here award.
Another horny award.
So this is for the hottest romance or wildest romantic moments or sexual scenes that came out this year. I am so excited to hear what you're going to say for this.
I had to take a sip.
Do it.
My award goes to Anthony and Katie from Bridgerton season 2 when Anthony goes down on her.
The first thing that popped into my head, so I will say that that's not my choice, but that's the first thing that popped into my head.
So they're outdoors, they're outside of this party, they're sneaking around
at his house.
His mama's inside.
His mom's inside.
This is forbidden activity. It could forever tarnish her reputation, but they're so hot and heavy in the moment that like, we gotta do this. It's gotta happen. And he starts sliding down. And I was like, woo, let's do it. And I think it was like because like when you watch season 1, I think the whole season is horny. It's this whole build up of tension. And I think one thing of when we were watching season 2, we were like, it feels like it's lacking. This was one of the moments where I was like, this is what I was looking for. This is what I needed. Thank you. So that is my It's Getting Hot in Here moment of 2022. What was yours?
So, like I said, I thought of that one first. And then I remember thinking like, okay, what moment did I have the biggest reaction to? Like physical reaction. And there is one moment from this year where I literally hopped up and was jumping up and down like, this is not about to happen. And that's when we were in the bowels of a pleasure den.
Bowels of the brothel. Yes.
In House of the Dragon.
Pulling.
When, spoiler, Prince Damon took his niece, Rhaenyra, to a whorehouse and proceeded to make out with her, feel her up, and almost have sex with her. It was a very, 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 very charged sexual scene. It's actually, and this is something we talked about when we did the pod, that like the director of that episode shot all of those sexual scenes and stuff from like a female point of view. So it was way more sexual than anything I've seen on screen in a really, really, really long time. So I felt just way more intimate. So I like that. And I have some honorable mentions.
Ooh, go for it.
So my next honorable mention is also from that TV series, and it was when Prince Aegon was masturbating in the window.
Very horny moment. Yes.
And shocking, just like,
Like, oh, wait a minute.
like, why? Okay. And then finally, just the entire show, Big Mouth. I'm just giving it to them because every single episode there's something ridiculously horny and sexual. And I mean, that's the purpose of the show. So just wanted to throw that in
It's
there.
a horny show. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. That's amazing. Alrighty. On to, so we're leaving the romance
Yeah.
and we're heading to the fighting. We are lovers, but we also appreciate a good fight.
Yes, we do.
And so this is our Annie Up Award. I also consider calling it the Protect Your Neck Award.
Really?
But when I saw you put Annie Up, I was like, I like that better.
I like how we both went with like lyrics from a song.
90s. 90s hip hop lyrics. But yes, this is the Annie Up Award for best fight scene. A lot of fandom is action packed. We always know when we get to the third act of a Marvel movie, it's about to light up. So we have to absolutely give an award to this. This includes chases, battle scenes, one-on-one combat. I need to know, T, who are you giving the award to?
So I'm giving the award to any scene where Arendelle is getting busy. So Arendelle is a character instead of like a scene. But Arendelle from Rings of Power got busy. He didn't do it as much as I would have liked to see him do it, but like he was missing from like the last 2 episodes of the season ish almost. But I really enjoyed seeing him fight on screen.
I'm so glad you chose this so that I didn't have to. Thank you for that. Because I thought about it and I was just like, ooh, I hope she fixed it. Because there was another scene that I wanted to highlight and really give an award to. And for me, it is from the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once. And if you have not seen that movie, it is jam-packed with amazing martial arts scenes. And the one that I chose doesn't even have necessarily the best martial arts of the movie, but it was so emotionally charged and so beautifully shot that I chose it. It's Evelyn and Joy's fight. And it's when, so this is the mother and daughter. They have a fight, they have a battle, and Evelyn, it's going to sound silly if you haven't seen the movie, but the mother, Evelyn, is trying to keep her daughter, Joy, from reaching the everything bagel. And so they have, I don't want to give too much away, but if you ain't seen the movie, go see it. You'll understand what I'm talking about. But she's trying to stop her from getting to the everything bagel. And in trying to get her daughter back and win her daughter and mend her relationship with her daughter, they have this fight where they are traveling across universes, and there's the transitions into the costume changes are so seamless. It's amazing. And it's like they're obviously fighting each other, but they don't want to hurt each other. And there's just so much emotion because this is at the pivotal scene in the movie towards the end where it's like, either we're making it or we're not. And you can feel so much of the buildup throughout the movie that I was just like, oh my gosh, it's amazing to watch. It's amazing to watch. So if y'all have not seen it, if you don't want to spend the time watching the movie, YouTube it. I'm sure it's out there. Google it, whatever. Watch that scene. Evelyn trying to keep Joy away from the everything bagel. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That is my Annie Up award.
Okay.
Do you have any honorable mentions for that one?
I did not. I immediately just went straight to Arendelle. It was just like him.
My honorable mention is Shuri and Namor fighting on the beach. I thought that fight was really, really good too. Again, because it was like emotionally charged. It's like she's fighting for her family. She's fighting to get this revenge from this man, but just specifically them on the beach. Everything else, But
Yeah.
them on the beach, I love that scene. I thought it was really, really great.
We probably should have came up with an award for like the stupidest plot point.
Oh
Next year we'll do that, because if we did, it would have been the Wakandans going to the middle of the ocean to fight the Talokans. That made no freaking sense. But
yeah,
anyways,
honorary award for stupidest plot.
I can't believe we didn't think of that. Okay, next year we're gonna do that.
Next year we got it. All right, what is up next, T?
So, I mean, this is kind of close. Maybe we could have used that too, but like, so our next award is for the best plot point or plot twist or shocking moment. Some of the best storytelling includes the ability to shock your audience. So, which moment, we call it the I Did Not See That Coming award. Nessa, which moment from this year shocked you the most?
The I Did Not See It Coming award for me has to go to Queen Ramonda dying.
Oh, that's a good one.
Physically had a reaction in the movie theater.
I was sitting next to you.
In front of friends and strangers. Like, no, absolutely not. They can't be doing this. I feel like a lot of times plot twists and stuff, for a lot of times you see them coming. Mm-hmm. And this one was absolutely one I did not see coming. Because I was like, T'Challa's already dead. And I was like, y'all not gonna kill off anybody else that important. Y'all absolutely not. You would not put the audience through this. And they put us through it.
They did.
And I was upset. I was sad, furious, all of the above. I did not see that coming at all whatsoever.
You were very shocked.
I was very shocked. Who did you give? I feel like I'm reliving it. I'm upset. Who did you give the award to?
They very much were like F your feelings. And the one show that makes F your feelings like their through line is House of the Dragon.
True.
So for most shocking, again, I didn't read the book, so this was shocking to me. I'm going with spoiler, Luke's death. When Vhagar came up through the clouds and just smacked down on him. I remember when it comes to like not seeing it coming, when you're watching that show, you think anything is possible, but still in the moment, even you're watching the chase scene, you're watching all that stuff. They did so good at like circumventing your expectations by having that peaceful moment above the clouds. And then out of nowhere, and then like how graphic it was, you got to see it, and it gives me chills just thinking about it.
Everywhere. That's like
pieces of wing flying down to the ground. Like it's so jarring to me.
Yeah, that's a really great moment because it's like Rhaenyra's doing everything that she can to stay out of war. She's like, I want to find another solution to all of this. I don't want us to go into war. Sends her children off thinking that people are going. It almost kind of felt like a Ned moment. Like, I'm going to send my children and the other people are going to do the honorable thing because I'm doing the honorable thing.
Madness of mercy.
And it did not work out that way. And it was shocking. It was upsetting. It was so sad. And like, he looks so small. Him and his dragon look so small next to Vhagar and Aemon. And I was just like, oh, that was the tough scene. That was tough.
It is a tough scene. I have an honorable mention.
Ooh, go for it.
So my honorable mention is Eloise discovering that Penelope is Whistledown in Bridgerton. And the reason why that shocked me is because it's like, what the hell are they going to do with that information in the next season?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's like, and also their fight was amazing. Like they both had points, great points. But the fact that they actually did it, I was like, oh, this changes how Whistledown shows up in subsequent seasons now that someone knows and it's her best friend and she's been writing stuff about her. Like, I don't know. I just got a chill thinking about it. I cannot wait for Bridgerton season 3. But that was something that shocked me if I was thinking about like the writing and like what it means moving forward. That plot point was like, oh, this is good.
That's a great one. That's a great one. I love that. All right, y'all. So that was the I Did Not See It Coming award. Next up, we have the Y'all Dragged It award. This award is for the most overrated, overhyped media that we got, content that we got, movie, TV show, what have you, that we got, right? We understand fandoms have a huge and very opinionated fan base, but there are certain things where it's like, I don't get it, right? And so, T, I need to know what fandom dragged it for what movie, what TV show. What do you have?
People may not like this, but I chose Multiverse of Madness for this. We're thinking about hype for something to come out. There was so much hype for Multiverse of Madness. So the expectations were just through the roof. They wanted to see, Professor X and like all these other things. And we did get a lot of that in there. But when it comes to the plot, when it comes to the character development, when it comes to the villain, when it comes to what this movie sets up for the future MCU, I feel like it just didn't hit the mark that I was expecting it to, based off of the hype that came before it. What was yours?
I love that choice, actually. That's a very, very solid choice. There was a lot of hype around this movie. So my choice is, I'm once again going off the beaten path.
Do it.
My choice is Andor.
Oh.
Yes. So recently,
I know you watched that.
Here's the story. So recently, right? So I have somebody very close to me who is a Star Wars fan and was like, man, I kind of want to get you into Star Wars. I heard all these great things about Andor. On different fandom pods that I listen to, I've heard everybody talking about Andor so great. It's amazing. It's good. It's good. It's good. Everybody's talking about how great it is. Boy, we turned on Andor and fell asleep. And I'm not talking about just like, oh, we were tired because we've been doing stuff all day. So I'm talking about, it was not that, like, I couldn't get into it. I was like, and like, for me, I don't have to be deeply immersed into a fandom to enjoy what may come from the fandom and stuff. And so I was just like, yeah, man, let me give Andor a chance. Like, I heard so many good things about it. Why not? I can't tell you a plot point to this day because I fell asleep and I was not interested in going back whatsoever. So for me, I'm going to say the Star Wars fandom, y'all dragged Andor. Y'all really did. Y'all dragged it, and I don't think I'll be going back. I think at some point I will give The Mandalorian a try, but
no. Okay. I don't have any comments because I haven't seen it, but the fact that you and the person who is actually into Star Wars fell asleep, like, that's interesting.
It didn't give what it was supposed to give. And for me, I feel like the true stamp of a good fandom is that even if you're a casual fan or you're not that deep into it, it should still be able to pull you in because it should still be a good story. And I couldn't get there. I couldn't do it. That's my Andor story.
I mean, I feel for you. I wish you can get your time back, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Our next award is the award that we call Low Key Fire, which is kind of the opposite. Yeah. The award for the movie or TV show that wasn't talked about a whole lot, but was shockingly good. What did you have? Who do you want to give this award to?
I got to give this award to my Paper Girls.
Okay.
I got to give the award to my Paper Girls.
You've been talking about it a lot. Yeah.
I feel like not enough people are, and mind you, this is a time traveling story. If you've watched this pod, and T knows, I hate time traveling stories. This is a time traveling story. However, the characters, the journey that they're on, beautifully written, beautifully fledged out 3D characters. They're so diverse. And to me, it was the nuances of the individuality of the characters that were important. There is an Asian character, Erin, and she walks into one of her friends' homes and begins to take off her shoes and stops herself because she's like, oh my gosh, these are my American friends. This isn't my Chinese household. That little detail for me was like, oh my gosh, you don't typically see that in like American shows.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then the black girl, like when she meets her 1999 self, she's getting ready for bed and she's like putting on her silky, and like her 1999 self, older self, comes and helps her put it on. And like it just those little moments, and like just how they're so different, and it's such a good show. Now, does it have its little pitfalls? Yes, it does. When it gets a little too deep into the time traveling stuff, I'm like, you're losing me. Bring me back. But the grounded character stuff, I think, is so beautiful. And I'm really sad that it's not getting a season 2. I think it deserves a season 2. And I feel like not enough people are talking about it. I've got the comics. I haven't started it yet, but I'm so excited to get into it. And please, y'all, if y'all have not seen it, like, at least give it a shot, give it a chance, check it out. I think it's great. People like to compare it to Stranger Things because it's the 80s. It starts in the 80s. It's these group of girls. They're on bikes. It's sci-fi. But when I tell you it's so different, it really is. And it deserves more than just being compared to Stranger Things. Go check it out, y'all. Please. That is my spiel. T, who was low-key fire for you?
So this may not come as a shock to you, but I chose Moon Knight.
It does come as a shock, actually. Okay.
Really enjoyed that show. And I think that, so Moon Knight, obviously part of the MCU, has a a fan base that's not as loud as the other fan bases, but definitely has a fan base. I think people had an issue with Moon Knight because it just didn't have as much action as people was expecting. And honestly, that's a fair critique, that like that show had way less action than most of the other Marvel shows or movies and things of that sort. And when you have someone like the character Moon Knight, who is a fighter, you would think that you would have more action. That aside, the story about the character and him trying to understand his, multiple personalities or however you want to call it, that was so, and the way they wove that into Egyptian mythology was so compelling to me. I also just like Egyptian mythology too. I think people aren't respecting the nuances and how they told the story of someone suffering from a mental disability, so to speak. I thought they did it very eloquently, and I was just so drawn to that aspect of it. I wish more people was just like, yeah, I didn't have a lot of action, but this was a great thing about this show. So that is my low-key fire, that they were able to handle that delicate topic, I think, in a very successful way. I obviously don't suffer from that mental illness, so my opinion is like whatever. But from what I've heard, people who are experts in that, they said the show handled it really, really well. So that's my low-key fire.
Nice. I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
And I love that for you. I do remember saying that you did like the show, but okay, I got you. So that was our low-key fire awards for underrated shows and movies. We are moving on to reclaiming my time.
Yes.
Now, this award, y'all, this award is for the biggest disappointment of the year. Okay? So this is the movie or TV show that was the most disappointment, regardless of audience opinions. I'm talking about you went in thinking, this is going to be it. This is going to do it. It's going to do the thing. It's going to make shit happen. And you got out and you were just like, I need my time back. Who did you pick, or what did you pick for this?
I feel like there's only one answer for this, and it's Morbius.
Oh, okay.
We knew more. You and I watched Morbius together on my couch.
That's a great pick. That's a great pick.
We knew going into it that a lot of people didn't like it. We knew like the reviews were all sucked. We waited until it came out on Netflix to watch it. But still in the back of my mind, I was just like, it can't be that bad. It was that bad. And at the end of it, I don't feel like anything that I gained from that movie matters. And that's where it's like, give me my time back, because it would be different if I sat through a movie that wasn't particularly good, but there was some stakes. I learned something. They introduced a character. It changes how I look at the MCU or whatever universe we're talking about. But Morbius did none of that. So it's like, what was the point of me watching this?
What was the reason?
What was the reason? So I want my time back. I mean, it was a wonderful time sitting next to you on my couch for 2 hours and some change. Like, that was great. But like, you could use that to do something else.
Absolutely. And I agree. That was tough. It was tough. And it was like, no matter the star power that they had in the movie, it just didn't come together and it didn't happen. That is definitely a reclaiming my time moment.
Mm-hmm. You choose.
So what I chose was, I'm not going to reclaim my complete time for it because I know some of it is going to matter. But what was the biggest disappointment for me? Because Morbius is up there, but also I didn't have that high hopes for Morbius.
Fair.
Like, I was just like, from what I was hearing and like the trailers, I was like, it ain't going to be that great, whatever. Mm-hmm. Multiverse of Madness, y'all owe me something. Doctor Strange, you owe me something, because you couldn't have told me going into the movie, you could not have told me that Loki wasn't going to be in the movie, that there weren't going to be mentions of King, that we weren't going to spend more time in different universes, all these things. Oh, we're getting America Chavez. You could not have told me that this was not going to be the MCU movie, aside from Wakanda Forever, the MCU movie
this year
of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And coming out of the movie, I was just like, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. And I was so disappointed because I was just like, they tried to take us on this character journey with Doctor Strange, and I just was not loving it. I was not feeling it. We got tastes of different universes, but not in a way that I would have loved or liked to live in. And you have to picture, right? We are coming off of Loki, who introduces the whole concept of the multiverse and King and everything that's happened. Then we get No Way Home, which is like, hey, here's Doctor Strange, who just helped fracture the multiverse in this world. And now we got to do this whole thing. And if y'all don't remember, the end of Spider-Man has the trailer for Multiverse of Madness.
Yep.
And so to go into Multiverse of Madness and it did not feel like it pushed the multiverse story, the multiverse saga along enough for me.
Fair.
Did we get some new terminology? Yes. Did we discover some things? Yes. But it did not do it in the way that I feel like the fan base as a whole thought it was going to do. And that was the biggest disappointment for me.
I agree. I think that what it did do was like fan service. Like, it succeeded in giving people Reed Richards, and the person we wanted cast as Reed Richards. We got Professor X. We got, we got to see, like you said, snippets of different universes that look interesting, but we didn't spend any time there. People really loved that like musical note battle, which I thought was ridiculous. Like, there were like snippets where it's like certain types of fans would get really, really excited for it. Which I absolutely agree with you. When it comes to the MCU and the multiverse saga, it's hard to see its significance based off of what they gave us before and what we think might be coming afterwards. So I totally agree with that, which is why I had it as my like overrated.
It was tough. It was a tough hang.
Moving forward,
yes,
the last award, our So Bad But It's Good award, is for the best villain. So, which villain did you think was most compelling? And that's loosely defined. You can define it however you want it. But what do you think?
Oh, you gotta love to hate him. Namor.
Of course, it's my
The feather serpent god, the fishman. That is best villain. When I say best villain, I mean that man don't give two F's about you. He gonna do for his people whatever that means. He's gonna show up on your shores. He's going to penetrate the river border and pop up on your little moments while you're mourning your dead family member and be like, I can't believe you did this. He's ready to see the world burn, and he is ready to do whatever it takes to protect his people. We love a villain with a point, and he's got a point. Why y'all out here telling them what we got? You know what these people are about. Why would you do that? Now, killing Queen Ramonda is tough.
I mean, that's what makes him. To me, that's what makes him so savage. Because, and he's my pick too. It makes him so savage because he sat there. He swam there with this girl and showed her his like beautiful city. They had so much chemistry. They had such a freaking connection. I thought they were going to kiss at some point. Like they were like, and they know they felt it. And then he was like, "Oh, you want to kill one of my people? I'm gonna kill your mom, so that you now have to make all the decisions." Like,
bro.
He burnt down a village because the village put his mother's ancestors in slavery. And then killed.
That's a hero to me.
My point is that he has a connection to his mother. It's not like he's like, well, I don't care about moms. He has that connection, and was just like, no, I'm still killing your mother. I don't give a shit. What?
That was savage. That was rough, and that's what definitely makes him a villain. 100%. It's like, if you thought you was gonna like this guy, absolutely not. Absolutely not. To kill somebody's mom's off like that.
On purpose, like to kill someone's mother as a political ploy to put someone else in power that you have some influence over. That's really what it is. Like, he purposely was like, well, Shuri has a heart for the Talokans now. I need her in power, so let me offer mom. What?
Bro, that was crazy.
And now he's kind of more of like an anti-hero, in my opinion, because he's on Wakanda's side now.
Kind of. I mean, yeah. As long as they serve him, sure. And I also have to mention too, like, I feel like even by character design, this is a character that could have easily came off as very corny like just would not translate into live action. Mm-hmm. And the actor, I forget his name, I feel really bad. But he pulls off the character so well and brought so much life to the character, and it's so fine. I would have burned down the world with him. I would have been, you want to do, sure, the colonizers? Let's get them. You ready, B? Let's get them.
Let's go get him.
Let's go get him. And so, to me, I feel like he was definitely top notch villain for 2022.
He's mine also.
He's yours. Do you have any honorable mentions?
I did have an honorable mention. I put Penguin on here from the Batman just because I like Agents of Chaos. People who are just like opportunists, people who don't really have like an end point, but just like messing stuff up just because. And Penguin gave me that kind of energy in the Batman, so I chose him.
Penguin was good. Mm-hmm. My honorable mention is Vecna from Stranger Things. When you find out his backstory and who he is, like, that was a good one. And like, he did not care. He's like, you're a teenager, you're a kid, so what? You're dead. Was very much like Freddy Krueger kind of vibes. Mm-hmm. And so he was out there, you know, coming into Hawkins and causing lots and lots and lots of damage. And so I gotta put him out there. And when you find out what his backstory is, you're like, oh, I get why you went bad. you're still messed up, but I understand why you went bad. And so I got put Vecna up there as honorable mention.
Sounds good.
Yes, ma'am. What you got for me?
So, I think we're up to our last award. No?
Oh, are we? Yes, we are. This is me. Oh my God. So our last award is going to be Best Movie or TV Series. Now, overall, which movie or show do you think did the best this year? Which one pulled you in? Which one got a hold on you? And now I think this category is open, right? Because you can kind of go either this is critically, like technically good and great and best, but there's also that other side of like it might not be technically the best thing, but this is what I keep going back to. Mm-hmm. What did you choose?
And this may be some recency bias in this because it just came out, but I'm going with Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I'm going with Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. It had its plot points that were weird, like we said, the whole battle and that plan was ridiculous. However, what they had to do was really get at the emotional beats for the audience and the characters based off of the untimely passing of the late actor Chadwick Boseman and the character that he plays, T'Challa. And they nailed that. That they needed to nail that more than anything in order for this franchise to keep moving forward. And they absolutely freaking did that. And they built a story around it that not only landed emotionally, but for the rest of the MCU, it makes sense. It introduced Namor, who we just talked about at length, and he's going to be amazing in the rest of the MCU. I cannot wait to see him again.
So excited.
Shuri being Black Panther, but like not really being the leader of Wakanda anymore. That's going to set up a really interesting dynamic. It had 9 out of the 10 things I needed out of a movie, and it was just fantastic.
I'm with you. That was my choice as well for all of the things that you mentioned. It was great. I've actually seen it twice in theaters. And even on the second watch, it did not disappoint. And it's such I think if you're talking, yes, obviously all movies have their flaws, but if you're talking about a complete story, a complete journey, in terms of 2022, it was very, very good. It was top notch. I have to give honorable mention. So when I picked Wakanda Forever, to me, that was more of like a heartfelt pick in terms of like what was my favorite to return to and to go to and to watch again. Like that's a movie that like I would be interested and excited to revisit. But if we're talking technical, like what is, like if we're just being like critics, like what was really the best movie of 2022, I have to absolutely give honorable mention to Everything Everywhere All at Once. From the plot line to the writing, the costuming, the action sequences, it is the multiverse movie we deserved. If you were disappointed by Multiverse of Madness, go watch Everything Everywhere All at Once. It is the movie that we deserved. It is a stamp in diversity in terms of focusing in on Asian culture and family dynamics and still having that action and that comedy. And it's so good. It's so much going on. It's so good. And I highly, highly recommend it to everybody. If you have not seen that movie, go watch that movie for sure.
It's on my list. It's on my list.
Do it.
So that's our awards. That's the first annual Casual Fangirls Awards.
Yay!
So before we wrap up, though, we want to just quickly run through in memoriam the list of actors/characters who have passed into the ancestral plane across all of the IPs that we got this year, and then we'll wrap up with one final discussion. So first and foremost, our king T'Challa. the Black Panther. We lost in movies this year, Queen Ramonda. Oh, also, spoiler, we're about to tell you all the people.
Ooh, yes.
A lot,
Yeah.
a lot of the characters.
Black Adam, Love and Thunder, Wakanda Forever, Stranger Things.
Multiverse of Madness,
Yeah.
Thor, Love and Thunder. Yeah, you said that. House of the Dragon.
Rings of Power. Yeah.
Rings of Power.
Those are about to get spoiled.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Run through the list.
Just gonna run through them. T'Challa, Queen Ramonda, Jane Foster, the Scarlet Witch, question mark? They want us to think that, but yeah. I'm putting Gore the God Butcher on here. We don't usually put villains on here, but I liked him, so he's on here. Yeah. Luke Strong. Luke Targaryen.
First of all, Valerian. Valerian. To get it right. We're not going to tolerate rumors here.
Rumor, that's fact. We saw it. The audience knows the truth.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sadok Burrows
from
Rings of Power. Dr. Fate from Black Adam, who I called Black Hawk Falcon Guy's best friend with the helmet. Who Nessa knew exactly what I was talking about when I said it, though. So.
Yeah, I did. I understood.
Eddie Munster, Stranger Things. All the alternate universe Doctor Stranges that unfortunately had to lose their life. The 838 Illuminati, including Professor X, Captain Carter, Reed Richards, Maria Rambeau, and Black Bolt. And then finally, 2019, Erin Tiang from Paper Girls, right?
Yes, from Paper Girls.
So we thank you for your service in like helping.
Your watch has ended.
But your watch has ended, and we drink to you.
Yes. Indeed.
Finally, as we look forward to 2023, I'm just going to give us a quick rundown of like all the things we're anticipating for 2023. And Nessa, I would love to hear if there's one or two of these that you're the most excited for. Absolutely. I think also we can say that it's fairly, we can say fairly confidently that we'll probably cover most of these into 2023 here on the podcast. So that's something to look forward to. And if there's something on here that I don't think we would cover, which there's at least one on here, I'll say it. So in no particular order, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania coming out in 2023, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That looks kind of sad, though. The trailer's out. You should watch it. The Little Mermaid. I'm excited for that. The Marvels. What If Season 2. Should be good. Mandalorian Season 3. I don't think we'll cover that because Star Wars, but, you know, it's out there. Maybe I'll get into Star Wars before then. Who knows? Secret Invasion. Echo. Loki Season 2, Ironheart, Agatha Coven of Chaos, Shazam Fury of the Gods, The Flash, Blue Beetle, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, not to mention that there are other fandoms that we like that they just haven't announced when it's coming out. So we are ready and willing. If Bridgerton, Rings of Power, or House of the Dragon, they want to drop something in 2023.
It's not going to
happen, but we will be on board and ready if they decide to do that. So
yes, absolutely. I must say, Quantumania, I'm highly looking forward to because I needed to do what Multiverse of Madness did not do. 100%.
I don't think it will, but we'll get there.
No, it has to. It must. It must. Little Mermaid, I'm very, very excited for to get Halle Bailey in there. I want to see how she gonna eat these songs up. I want to see how she gonna spin them. I want her to make them people uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? I need her to make the people uncomfortable. So I'm excited to see what they do with that. Definitely Secret Invasions, Loki Season 2, 100%. Shazam, Fury of the Gods. I love the original Shazam. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen for that. The one I must say that I am not excited for and not sure how this is going to be pulled off is Blue Beetle. Now, Blue Beetle is a DC character. For those who don't know, is a DC character. Um, I've been watching, Young Justice. I was like, not the title leaving my brain. I've been watching the Young Justice lately, and Blue Beetle is a character on there. And just watching the character, I'm just like, y'all gonna make a movie out of this? I don't know how I feel about it. How is this gonna tie into everything? I still don't think we know how DC is even trying to tie in all their stuff together. So I'm curious to see how this is gonna turn out, but I don't have the highest expectations for Blue Beetle.
Got it.
What are you thinking about this list for 2023?
I am most excited for Loki season 2. Full stop. Cannot wait for that to come out. I'm also excited for What If. I think What If is super fun. And like just thinking about all the things that could happen if different things were changed. Also ready for The Little Mermaid, to see what it does for the culture. Those are probably the things I'm the most excited for. I don't mind Aquaman too. Love me some Khal Drogo, so that should be cool too. We gotta wait the whole year for that. Huh? Yeah. Oh yeah, he's Khal Drogo. Whatever.
He will forever be Khal Drogo.
You know what I meant. So yeah, those are the ones that I'm most excited for. The one that makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Nervous Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Because I think, again, people are going to have a lot of expectations and I just don't know what they're going to do with it. I think we might have, I think the plan is for it to be mostly CGI, which I think I think if they don't do it right, it'll throw people off. Like it'll take people out of it. So that's kind of what I'm worried about. I think the plot will probably be fine. And the stakes on the rest of I think we'll get some stakes that mean something for the rest of the multiverse saga. But I'm a little worried about all the CGI that's going to be happening. And then I'm also a little kind of like, do I care about Echo and Agatha, Coven of Chaos? I don't know.
I don't either, but I'm definitely going to watch it just to see what happens. I don't have the highest expectations for those. Back to like Quantumania, there was a video that I saw that was kind of interesting where it was like, in every third movie of a franchise, we lose something major. And it was like Iron Man 3, he gets rid of his like arc reactor or whatever thing. In the third Avengers movie, we lose half the universe.
Civil War, we lost, I guess Captain like went on the run.
Yeah.
And then Ragnarok, we lost.
They lost their home.
They lost their home.
And so like there's always like this big loss. So they were like, well, we're on Quantumania and we're on Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So what are we gonna be losing from these franchises?
I think Guardians of the Galaxy, the trailer made it obvious that someone's going to die.
So do you want to hear a rumor? Well, not a rumor, but theory that I've heard.
Spoiler, people were saying it might be Rocket.
Yeah. That's the theory. So the theory is that it could potentially, if he dies and that happens in the movie, I legit might cry for strangers.
Especially because it would make sense. Now we're theorizing, which we didn't plan to do, but we're here, so let's go with it. If you saw the Guardians holiday special, spoiler, what's her name? Nebula gifts Rocket Bucky's arm, which is super random, and I need a backstory on how she even got it. But if they were going to kill Rocket in the next movie, to give him this this thing beforehand would make a lot of sense. Sorry.
So sad. So sad. So the person who came up with the theory also too was like, if you look at the intro, the title cards to the movies, like the color theme kind of tells you. So like the first movie was like brown or something like that, and we lost Groot. The second one was blue, we lost Yondu. This one is like brown and white or something like that or whatever. So it's like, could it be Rocket? I don't know. Also, I'm curious to see if we will lose anyone or lose anything in Quantumania, what's going to happen with that. So it's a lot to look forward to, y'all, in 2023, and we are glad to be able to bring it to you and share it with you and do
If we
more.
lose anyone in Quantumania, it would be Hank Pym.
It would be. I think it would be.
That would make the obvious. That would be the obvious choice. But anyways,
Yeah,
yes.
I don't think we're gonna lose Scott.
No.
It could be Hank's wife too. That could be a possibility.
I feel like Hank is a larger character though,
Yeah, to get rid of.
and he's
I
old.
mean, we'll see.
Maybe both of them. I don't know.
We shall see. Well, guys, that was the first annual Casual Fangirls Awards for 2022 season. This was a fun one. I thoroughly enjoyed doing this one. We kept our answers from each other just so we could be surprised in the moment as we were doing it. And I'm so happy that we picked so many different moments. That was awesome. And we got to highlight so many different shows that we didn't actually get to talk about. But thank you for joining us, guys. Make sure you follow our socials at Casual Fangirls _. We are on the TikToks. We are on Instagram. We are on YouTube. Make sure you check us out, listen, like, subscribe, share, watch, do all of the things. And we will absolutely be coming back to you guys soon with who knows what. Definitely Quantumania for sure. But I'm sure we'll probably do like a looking forward to 2023 type of pod or something like that. Or maybe a potpourri episode or something. Mm-hmm. We will be coming to you guys with the content more. Thank you for joining us. I am Nessa.
And I'm T.
And together we are the Casual Fangirls. We will see you guys soon.
In 2023.
2023, y'all. Go check out everything we talked about. Share with us who would have won your categories. Please let us know. Comment it. Fight us in the comments. Let us know who's your winners and losers for this year. And we will see you guys soon in 2023. Take care. Bye.